Boy and girl gather round. Closer, and let me tell you a story. This is a story about a boy named Brett. He was moving with his family on to Boston for a year and a half. It was a vacation. Well, actually, it was not a vacation. It was something to do with his father's work. His father got a job offer in Boston, and he was moving there for a year and a half. He was upset because he wouldn't see his friends, but he was told that he would make new friends, so he figured that was okay. The story is about to begin. After a long car ride and a day later, they were there. They were at Boston. They were at the new house that they were going to live in Boston for a year and a half. And they were happy they were home. It was a nice house. Brett's mom said, "Do you like your new room?" Brett said, "It's nice." Brett's mom said, "It's pretty big, isn't it? It's more bigger than what you had in our old home in Canada." Brett said, "Yeah, it is big. It is a big room." Brett said, "Hi, Shelly. What do you want to do?" Shelly said, "I don't know." Brett said, "How about we play a game that we're child actors and we have our own show?" Shelly said, "Okay, we'll play that game then. That sounds like fun." Basically, day turned to nighttime. They only had dinner quite late. Afterwards, they did their own thing, and then it basically came time for the little sleep. So Shelley went to bed first, and then later signed by Brett. Then Brett went to sleep. Brett basically had a dream when he was asleep. Brett basically said to Karen, "Karen, you're my best friend. I like you. You're fun to be with. I miss you." Karen said, "You're my buddy too, Brett. I like you too. You're fun to be with." It was the next day, and Brett and Sally had to go to school. This was their first day of school in Boston. Their father already went to work, is ready to go to work, so that's basically how it went. Okay, so Brett was at school, and he was ready to meet a new classmate, and that's what he was going to do. He was at school now. Hi, my name's Brad. I'm from Canada. I'm in Boston for a year and a half. My father is working on a tunnel. My father is an engineer. That's what he does for a living. The teacher said to Brad, "You can sit down now." Brad said, "Thank you." CW and Holly were talking, and Brett posted and said, "Hi, my name's Brad. Holly said, "We weren't really talking about you." Brett said, "Okay, I get it." A week had passed since the rest school. It was a weekend. They were going to go to Boston to look at the site, and that's what they were going to do. Okay, they were basically in Boston, the downtown Boston, and that's what they did. They looked for a place to park the car, and they got out and they went and see the sights. They had a lot of cool stuff at Boston. They had lunch at a market in Boston. The food was quite delicious, quite delicious indeed. They spent most of the day at Boston. By the time they're finishing everything, it was time for them to go back, so they went in the car and drove back home. By the time they got back home, it was nighttime. They were tired of seeing all the sights at Boston, what they could see. Afterwards, they just hanged out a bit until it was time for them to go to sleep, so they went to sleep. It basically was the next day, and it was Sunday. Brett and Sally were outside, and they met their neighbors. Okay, they met their neighbor, their neighbor had a sister, so they decided to play with them, and they were going to play hide and go seek with them, and that's what they were going to do, because they wanted to have fun with them, and why. Basically, it's time for their neighbors to go back home, so they went back to their house, and Brett and Sally went inside, and that's what they decided to do, go inside. Okay, Brett basically went into his room, and his sister Shelly went and did her own thing. Hmm, hmm, hmm. What I had to do. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Well, I had to do. I really don't know what's going to happen when I get back to Canada. I don't know indeed. Where life indeed, where life indeed. Brett was thinking about what's going to happen when he comes back to Canada. He doesn't know. He's hoping that things would be back the way it was before, and he could see his best buddy Cameron again and his friends. That's what he's hoping. Basically, daytime turned to nighttime, and it was nighttime. Okay, it was time for Brett to go to sleep, so he went to sleep. When Brett was asleep, he had another dream. When Brett was asleep, he was thinking about Karen, his best buddy, his friend. Karen has something to tell him. When you get back to Canada, you may not see me. You may not see your friends. But what are you talking about? I'll see my friend when I get back to Canada. I will. Karen said, I don't think you will, Brett. couple of days, couple of weeks, and couple of months went by. It was summertime. School was finished for the summer. It was fun indeed. What happened that summer will set the path for Brett would go down for the rest of his life. His cousins came over for the summer, and they used their own money to buy a Nintendo. Okay, his cousins were over, and they just bought the Nintendo. So they were playing it. Brett was watching them play it, and then they asked him a turn. Brett said, "I'm not really into video games," he thought. So they offered him, they wanted him to try it. So he tried it, and he liked what he saw. Now, like I said before, this is the path he was going to go down, because when it came to Christmas, he would want a Nintendo for Christmas. Okay, Brett cut himself and stayed in the state for a couple of days, but it basically came to the point where they had to go back home, so they went back home. They went back to Canada, that's where they went. Summer holidays were finished, and it was time for them to go back to school. Brett went to school, but he changed. He was not the same person, and they noticed that. He wasn't the same person. Brett would talk to the girl, but the boy was saying here, um, they told Brett, you should be talking to girls like this. Do you think you should be talking to her? I don't know what girls are like in Canada, but they're in the States, they're not fun. Brett liked girls. He didn't care. He wanted to keep on talking to girls, but the girls weren't really interested in being his friend, even if he talked to them. Okay, school was finished for the day, and Brett was home, so was Sally. Sally was also home. Brett wanted to go for a walk, so he said he would go for a walk. So his mom said it was fine for him to go for a walk, so they were going to go for a walk. On Brett's walk, he came to a street. He said not to cross the street. He said he would go back, and that's what he said he was going to do. He was going to go back home. Brett made it in before the rain came. He was lucky he got in before the rain came. Brett thought that was kind of stupid, that it was raining. Sally thought it was kind of stupid too, Sally said, "Brett, do you want to go and do something?" And Brett said, "Okay, well, let's go and do something like that." Basically, day turned to nighttime, and it was nighttime. They always had dinner, or dinner was quite delicious. They did their own thing, until it was time to go to sleep. Brett said, "Hi, Karen, you're my best friend, aren't you? My best friend. Karen, you're my best friend." Brett. Brett said, "I can't wait to see you again when I come back from Boston." Karen said, "You're not going to see me, Brett. You're going to go to your school when you come back to Canada." Brett said, "You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to see you, aren't I?" Brett woke up in the middle of the night and he thought, I guess they can't, will come back from Boston, am I? Aren't I? This is not true, he thought. I like you. Kiss my butt. I want to spend my life with her. Brett decided to get to sleep anyway, honey. It was the next day. This was the last day in Boston. The movers already came and moved everything out of their house. Where were they going? They weren't going back to Canada. They were going back. They were going to Florida to see their grandparents. And they were going to Walt Disney World, and they were looking forward to going to Walt Disney World. When they were going to Walt Disney World, they were going to go to Mexican and Epcot, and they were looking forward to that trip. They were. But when they came back to Canada, things were not going to be the same for Brett. Man said, well, you know what the sad thing is? Brett would go to school when he came back to Canada, but what he forgotten of him was all the time within Boston he was thinking about Cameron. When he didn't realize that people were nice to him, they weren't really nasty to him and wanted to be a friend. Well, all the time within Boston he thought of Cameron, and he wouldn't see him when he came back. The man basically said Brett would have to go to school, but people at school would seem weird to him because he's changed. And this is something what will haunt him the rest of his life, that he will never feel like he'll fit in because he changed. He was not the same person. The man said, to you, this man sounds stupid, right? But there was a moral in the story. Things can't always be the same. Things basically have to change, and they did change. The path he went in was the right direction, even if it was not the right path according to him.